Ever drive past a refinery and wonder like what it takes to keep those massive operations running? Mm,
It's pretty mind-boggling, right?
totally. So today we're doing a deep dive into the career of a refinery shift manager. We've got this in-depth career guide from RoleCatcher.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, it's way more than just knowing your gasoline from your diesel.
that's right. This guide is packed with insights. For example, did you know the Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts that refinery jobs will grow 13% over the next decade?
Wow, seriously?
Yeah, that's faster than the national average for, most jobs.
Wow, 13%. Okay, so not just a steady job, but a field with real growth potential. So let's get into it. What does a refinery shift manager actually do day to day?
They're like the conductor of a very complex, high-stakes orchestra. They're responsible for overseeing like every aspect of the refinery's operation during their shift.
So we're talking supervising teams, managing plant equipment,
Right.
making sure production targets are met, and of course ensuring everything runs safely.
And that's no small feat when you consider the environment. The guide really paints a picture. Noise, heat, chemicals.
Oh, I bet.
It takes a special kind of resilience to handle those conditions, like every day.
It sounds intense. I can see why this wouldn't be the right fit for everyone.
Absolutely. This is a career for those who thrive under pressure. They enjoy that dynamic, constantly changing environment.
So we've got high stakes, a demanding environment, and then on top of that, the industry itself is being transformed by technology.
It's actually really fascinating to see how automation, data analytics, even AI are changing the game. It's not just about like brawn anymore.
Yeah.
It's about having the technical knowledge to manage these advanced systems.
Okay, so we're talking high pressure, high demand, and a constant need to adapt. So what's the appeal? What motivates someone to pursue this career, as a refinery shift manager?
Well, for one, the earning potential is a big draw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guide mentions that refinery shift managers earn a significantly, higher than average salary.
Okay, so the potential to earn a good living is definitely a plus. What else does the RoleCatcher guide highlight as like a pro for this career path?
Career advancement, that's a big one.
Okay.
You're not stuck in a dead-end job. You can move up the ranks, take on more responsibility, and potentially even oversee an entire refinery one day.
That's
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible to think about. Starting out maybe as a shift manager and having the potential to kind of climb that ladder, into a leadership role.
exactly. And it's not just about moving up within a single company either. The oil and gas industry is global, so there's potential for international work and travel.
So high earning potential, opportunities for advancement, and even the chance to maybe like work in different parts of the world. Those are some pretty compelling reasons to consider this career. But let's be real, it can't all be smooth sailing, right? What are some of the challenges that the guide kind of outlines?
Well, the demanding work environment is definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
Those long and irregular hours, those can take a toll, especially when you're responsible for the safety of your team and like the smooth operation of the entire refinery.
Right. Yeah. The guide also mentioned this need to be a lifelong learner in this field with technology constantly changing. What does that look like for a refinery shift manager?
It's about staying current with the latest technologies, understanding how they're being integrated into, refinery operations, and just being adaptable enough to learn new systems.
So you need that solid technical foundation, but you also have to be open to new ways of doing things.
Exactly. And you can't underestimate the importance of leadership and communication skills. As you move up the ranks, you're managing larger teams and making higher stakes decisions.
Right. It sounds like the RoleCatcher guy did a really good job laying out what that potential career trajectory might look like, breaking it down into those 5 distinct stages.
Yes. It starts with an entry-level operator role, then progresses to junior operator, senior operator, shift supervisor, and finally, refinery shift manager.
Right.
And what I found really helpful is they provide these real-world examples of individuals at each stage, and they highlight the skills and experience gained along the way.
Yeah. It's one thing to have a job title,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to really understand what that job entails day to day and what it takes to reach that level.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guide emphasizes that it's not just about accumulating years on the job. It's about demonstrating a commitment to continuous learning, developing your leadership abilities, and of course, honing that technical expertise.
So let's say, someone is intrigued by this career path. That they're up for the challenge. They're excited about the potential. What, according to RoleCatcher, are some of the core abilities needed to actually succeed as a refinery shift manager?
Well, the guide kind of frames these abilities almost like a quiz, which I thought was kind of fun. It gets you thinking, do I have what it takes?
I love that. So quiz us. What are some of the key skills that jumped out at you?
Well, they emphasize active listening. It sounds, pretty basic.
Yeah.
But in a refinery where, miscommunication could have serious consequences, it's crucial.
Yeah, for sure. So more than just hearing, right. You need to really process what your team is saying, especially in those high pressure situations.
Exactly. Then there's coordination.
Okay.
They compare it to air traffic control for oil, which I
Yeah.
think is such a good analogy.
You're coordinating the movement of tanker trucks.
Yeah.
You're managing the flow through pipelines, all while overseeing, the refining process itself. It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's not just about keeping things running smoothly either. The guide really emphasizes critical thinking and how important that is for handling, those emergencies.
Because let's face it, things can and do go wrong in a complex operation like a refinery, right?
Exactly. And when that happens, a refinery shift manager needs to quickly assess the situation, consider their options, and make a decision, often under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So you need that ability to stay calm, think clearly, and, lead your team through a crisis.
Absolutely. It's crucial. And on top of all that, the guide also stresses the importance of continuous learning.
Right, which makes sense. The energy industry is evolving so rapidly with new technologies and, sustainability concerns. Always kind of at the forefront.
Exactly. A good refinery shift manager needs to be adaptable and committed to staying, updated on industry trends and best practices.
It's clear that this career path requires a really unique blend of technical skills, leadership abilities, and a willingness to always be learning. So for someone listening who's thinking, this sounds like me, but how do I even get started?
Yeah.
What advice does the RoleCatcher guide offer?
They have a whole section on gaining practical experience, internships, apprenticeships, even entry-level positions at a refinery are really valuable.
Yeah, totally. It's that hands-on experience that really gives you a feel for the work, right? And it helps you build those essential skills.
Absolutely. And then when it comes time to actually apply for those refinery shift manager positions, the guide has some really practical advice on interview preparation.
Ah, okay. They actually provide potential interview questions.
They do. They have a section called interview prep, questions to expect, and then they go beyond those typical interview questions.
Give us an example. What kind of question can someone expect to be asked?
Well, one that stood out to me was, how do you ensure the safety of your team and the refinery's operations?
Okay.
It's a question with a lot of weight to it,
Yeah.
reflecting how critical safety is in this industry.
It's not just a technical question. It's a question that speaks to your leadership abilities, your judgment, your ability to create a culture of safety.
Exactly. And they also ask questions that reveal, your problem-solving skills and your ability to handle pressure. For example, how would you respond to a sudden drop in pressure in a processing unit?
So they're really trying to get a sense of how you think on your feet and how you apply your knowledge in a real-world scenario.
Precisely. What I also found really valuable is that the guide touches on alternative job titles.
Oh, interesting. So even if you're not ready to jump into a management role just yet, there are other ways to, gain experience in the field.
Exactly. They mention roles like petroleum pump system operator or oil refinery control room operator. These can be, great stepping stones, allowing you to build your, technical skill set and get a feel for the refinery environment.
That's really helpful for those, just starting to explore this career path. And honestly, the entire RoleCatcher platform seems incredibly valuable for anyone considering a career in this industry.
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing.
It's true. They have this career compass tool that can help you map out your career trajectory. And their job section aggregates postings from multiple sources. So it makes your job search way more efficient.
It's like having a one-stop shop for all your career exploration and job hunting needs. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of a refinery shift manager, what's the key takeaway here? What should someone listening walk away thinking about?
This is a career path. It's filled with challenges and rewards. It's definitely not for everyone, But if you're driven, you're technically minded, and you thrive in a demanding, fast-paced environment, this could be a really, fulfilling path.
And with the energy industry constantly evolving, it's a career with incredible potential for, growth and impact.
Exactly. As we transition to a more, sustainable energy future,
Hmm.
refinery shift managers are going to play a crucial role in shaping that transition.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities. So if you're intrigued by the idea of managing like complex systems, working with cutting edge technology, and just being a leader in a dynamic industry, this might just be the career for you.
And, be sure to check out RoleCatcher's, in-depth guide. It's an invaluable resource for anyone serious about exploring this challenging and, rewarding career path.
A huge thank you to RoleCatcher for providing such comprehensive, insights. And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those big questions.